In this life of education academia, if you fall behind, it's like an endless pit. It is like you will fall into the abyss and you will not know how to get out. You will fall into the abyss, guys. Are we good? Is it working? Okay, cool. Hello guys, welcome to episode 3 of the series. So today we're going to be talking about how to manage online school, tips and tricks that I have been using that have helped me get through this awful time to be in academia. Obviously I've had good moments in it as well, but overall I guess it's not the way any of us expected to have to experience, you know, being in university, but it has happened and we must move forward. So I have a couple of notes on my phone just to explain things that I found extremely helpful in terms of managing online school. So the first thing, I know some people are not going to want to hear this because this is very common knowledge, but yet people don't do it. So I'm here to just push it home for some people. Do the reading and look at the lecture slides beforehand. And I say this because I don't know if you guys have what I've been going through, but if you go to an online lecture and there's already technical issues, there's already glitches, maybe the professor's not even reading the chat, you are not doing yourself, a benefit by going in there completely blind. You are not doing yourself a benefit at all by going into that lecture completely blind. So if you want to get the most that you can get out of it, I highly recommend do the reading, download the lecture and look at it so that when you're in it, you can focus on getting questions that you need to get answered and just understanding what is being said instead of trying to chase up and understand the whole topic as it's being taught. So that would be my first tip. Always do that, always prepare in advance. Second thing, when you're doing the reading, when you're reviewing the lecture, whether it's a pre-recorded lecture and you're going to a seminar the following day or whatever the case may be, write down your questions in your notes. Write down the questions that you want to ask the lecturer the day before. And this is extremely helpful because, again, when you go into the online lecture, a lot of the lecturers, they feel a lot of pressure of it being online. There's a lot of people that they're trying to get to at once, and it can be so easy to get wrapped up that by the time you even thought about questions that you were going to ask, the time is done. So it's better for you to write your questions down the night before, things that are bothering you or things that you didn't understand based on the reading, based on looking at the lecture notes, and then put them either into the chat or put your hand up during the lecture at the beginning part and ask a question and get it answered so that you know that you're getting what you need to get out of it. So that is tip number 2. Tip number 3. Now, this is a pro tip, guys. This is a pro. I don't know where I would be if I did not do this. If you don't know what is going to happen, some of these things that they're bringing up, some of the terminology, it doesn't make sense the first time you hear it. Or you're going to learn a brand new topic that you've never, studied before or don't know anything about. Use YouTube. There is so many free resources, it's ridiculous. As I'm talking to you right now, I am a student of Loughborough University, I'm a student of Princeton University, I'm a student of Harvard University, I'm a student of University of Southampton, and I'm all of these titles because these schools put up their lectures, put up resources on YouTube for free. So a lot of, for instance, if you're doing methodology at the moment or you've done it in the past or you're preparing to do it, there's a lot of videos from University of Southampton, from Princeton University and, an array of other higher institutions that have put up their lectures on these topics for free on the internet. And it makes it so much easier for you because you can, watch that in your own time, grasp what you want to grasp from it. And then when you actually have to go and study it by yourself independently or go into the lecture, you have a little bit of understanding on what's going on. You're not going there, fish out of water. So yes, utilize YouTube. And there's even a lot of people online who are not necessarily from higher education institutions, but are other students, maybe in higher years than you, that will have videos that explain these topics. So especially for things which are a lot more theoretical, like I was doing a lot of work around Michael Foucault, and I learned so much before I even actually did all the reading. I watched YouTube videos. So going to that reading, I kind of knew what I was looking for, what the main topics were, and I knew what I was going into and trying to find, you know, more answers to in the readings, because I'd gotten a gist of what it was about watching videos. So I highly recommend doing that as well. Second thing, this is more about friendship. When it comes to online school, I know this sounds sad, okay? I never would have done this if it wasn't for a pandemic. But the two friends that I've made whilst I've been on my course, I literally cold messaged on MS Teams, like, hi, I really liked your contribution, you know, can we be buddies, and I know it sounds so sad, sounds so primary school, but it worked. I know for a fact that there are people on my degree with no friends. I know it. There are people who are suffering in silence. They are coming to the classes, doing the classes. It's very easy to not talk in online classes. It's very easy to not talk and not participate. So I feel like a lot of people have fallen into that isolation mindset where they just come to the classes, sit down, mute their microphone, make no contributions, and then just go through the rest of the masters alone. And going through a masters is a lot more difficult in the sense that it's only for 1 year, so you don't have a lot of time to figure out what's going on. And if you're doing it completely by yourself with no assistance at all, that is extremely difficult. Just to even have somebody else to vent to or somebody else to ask questions is extremely important. So please, if you're one of those people who have just not made any friends at all, just message someone. I can guarantee you they're lonely too. There are lonely too. So I guarantee you, just message one person and just be like, oh, hi, maybe they contributed in class, or they had a really good presentation, or whatever it is, or they seem to know a lot about something that you don't know that much about. Just ask them. The worst that they can do is either not reply or just say, oh, okay, thanks, and then carry on with their lives. And that is not that bad, because at the end of the day, if you take it out, you're taking it in the comfort of your home. Nobody else is going to know apart from you and that person. So I don't think that there's that much to lose. But if you gain a friend. So just saying. And secondly as well, email your lecturers. I know there's people in the faculty that are probably very upset that I'm sharing this news, just because I have been bugging people. My tutor's so tired of me. He is my tutor / my therapist. That's what he has become, because every single issue that I have, I'm just like, hello, hi, it's me again. But yeah, that is the only way. If you don't ask for help, you will not get help. So listen to me, all those people that are having a little bit of pride right now, okay, or they think like, oh, you know, I'm not the type of person to reach out. Stop. Humble yourself. If there's something you don't understand, if you feel like you need assistance, if you're not getting on well with the modules, or you're not understanding anything, or you don't know what's going to happen with your dissertation, or you don't know what research methods to use, etc., email somebody in the faculty. There are people there to help you. I mean, I'm the course rep for my course, and that's why I'm also advocating for this. Email your course rep. Email your tutor, set up a meeting. You know, if there's a lecturer that you are particularly, you know, good friends with or knows you from undergrad, email them. Get help, please, because especially us all being online, people are not going to see you in person and look at the pain in your eyes that you're suffering, okay? They're not going to see that. They're not going to be able to pick up on, oh, she's a bit quiet and this and that, the way they would in-person classes. So if you don't reach out and say that you're suffering, nobody's going to know that you're suffering. So email somebody, email someone, and get help, okay? And I think my last point is work a week in advance. We are big people now, okay, guys? we are big people now in this education game. There is no excuse to not have gotten yourself together. And the thing is, even if there's an excuse in your head, it might as well, you know, there might as well not be an excuse in your head, because the only person that's going to hurt is you if you're not organized. So I know we are going through it. It is a tumultuous time. It's sad. It's unprecedented. I hate that word now just because of COVID, but we're going through a lot. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is find a way to manage your time. If Google Calendars works for you, use it. If another form of calendar works for you, use it. If you're traditional and old school and you need a planner to write things down to make sure that you don't forget, do that. If you have to tell a friend, you know, we're both going to be in this meeting, so when we have to be in it, remind me. Do whatever you have to do, because in this life of education academia, if you fall behind, it's like an endless pit. It is like you will fall into the abyss and you will not know how to get out. You will fall into the abyss, guys. You will be floating in oblivion whilst everybody else is on track, and you're just going to be there in space surfing because you did not plan your time out well. So please, please, please try and plan your time. And this is my rule, and I think I got this from my dad as well. Plan the best you can. Write it down and just be consistent. It's not about doing a lot in one day. It's about doing things consistently. So if you're out here looking at people on YouTube doing 10-hour study days, 12-hour study days, I'll tell you right now, even as a study YouTuber, that is not practical. It's not practical. You do that every single day, you will burn out. And for the people who are doing that successfully, they have started off small and have worked their way up to doing 10 to 12 hours. So don't sit here and think that you're going to go from 1 hour to 12-hour study days just like that, and you're still going to be able to live and breathe and sleep correctly. It's not going to happen. You are lying to yourself. It is a lie. Okay, so be consistent. I give myself, I try and do about 4 to 5 hours of independent study a day. That's what I've worked myself up to, and that's what I do. And if I can, I usually take Fridays off. Like, apart from my lectures that I have to attend on Friday, I won't do anything else, and that's my night off. So you have to do that, and it's better for you. It's better for you to do a little a day, but let it be consistent, than just be doing whatever and then give yourself 10 to 12 hour study days. It doesn't make sense. You'll be stressed out. You'll always be anticipating the next 10 to 12 hours that you have to study, and then you can't even relax in your supposed relaxing time. So just do your 3 hours a day, and maybe you amp it up to 4 hours a day, and then go about your business. And I like to do study blocks, so I don't usually sit down for more than 2 hours. I'll sit down and do 2 hours of study, and then I'll take a break. I'll go for a walk. I love to cook. I'll go and cook. I'll do something else. That is the only way that you're going to get through this. And just pace yourself. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Even though masters is intensive, it's still not a sprint. You have to treat it like a marathon, and you have to do what you need to do at each stage to be able to get through. So those are my tips. Take it as you will. As they'll say from my old headmaster, a word to the wise is enough. If you take my advice on board, good for you. But if you don't, it means you're bad for real. And that's okay. That's you, that's your personal business. But I'm just trying to make it easier for you to be able to handle everything, because I know that a lot of people have been stressed. And trust me, I was stressed. I'm less stressed now. I'm still stressed. But at least now there's a method to the madness. I know what's going on. I know how to handle it. So yeah, let me know if any of these tips have been helpful. If you have any tips that you would like to share yourself in the comment section, please do that. Like I said, it is a safe space. This is our community. We are here. We're going through it together. So yeah, write down in the comment section anything that you feel is helpful, or if you just want to talk about your experiences. 100% do that, because everyone's going through it. Nobody's perfect. Some of these studies YouTubers come on here and be like, yes, I have 2 quizzes, 700 exams, 2 tests, I have a multi-choice test, I have an interview, I have an oral exam, and I have 700 topics to study, and I did it all in 2.5 days. That is not practical. They be lying. Some people are getting alopecia and they're not telling you. They're not telling you. So that is not practical. So please pace yourself and be realistic about your objectives, and you'll be fine. You will make it through, and we'll all achieve academic success. All right, so that's the end of this episode. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.